What is going on, online fitness coaches? Welcome to another episode of the Change Lives, Make Money Online Training Podcast. This is the #1 show for online fitness coaches who are trying to grow a successful online business. In today's episode, I'm joined by a dude that is widely known. His friends refer to him as Thor. His fiance, his wifey, refers to him as the biggest and most jacked man she's ever seen. And a lot of people refer to him as Maverick Willet. What's up, Mav?
How's it going? How's it going, everyone? Glad to be here. Thanks for having me on, my man.
Do you like that intro?
I do. I don't know if I've never heard any of that stuff. So that's what people are saying. That's a good thing. That's cool.
Okay, guys, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about check-ins, accountability, and being a good coach. Because frankly, we brought on Chad Morgan to the podcast a couple weeks ago. And Chad and we had a conversation about impact over income. And that's the mindset, right? The mindset is that we want to completely change these people's lives that are enrolling in our program. Like, we want to make a significant difference in their lives. But that's like a good mindset, but what about the systems and what about the delivery? It's really, really good to talk about the abstract concept, but in this podcast, I really want to get into some of the foundational systems that need to be in place in order to make that type of impact in the client's life. So Mav, before we get into this with you, I know that some of the people listening to the podcast might not know who you are. So do you want to give them a little bit of a backstory of Maverick Willet, who you are, how we came to meet, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, of course. Been involved in fitness in one way or another my entire life. My parents were competitive bodybuilders, both my parents. So I had a really unique upbringing. I didn't out bench press my mom until I was like 17 years old. So we had a very unique relationship. Like, her pushed me in the gym, my dad pushed me in the gym. So I had a very unique upbringing that way. Always involved in fitness. I played collegiate sports, was in special operations in the military after that. Then got into kind of training people after the military. And then the online thing kind of came around, started getting bigger, and I was doing it part-time, but had no idea how to capitalize on this unique skill set that I had and had developed through the years, and the knowledge I could offer. Had no idea how to do that on a large platform and how to convert people into paying clients. And around the time we met, I was at a very low point in my life. I was selling cars, which, nothing against car sales, but I hated it. Wasn't enjoying it. Wasn't making a whole lot of money in it. I had online coaching on the side that I was doing part-time, simply because I had no idea how to make it a full-time career. Didn't even know it was possible. Randomly met you in I think it was an engagement group we were both in on Instagram. You had saw that I was a coach, reach out to me, and you said, "Hey man, so, you could be making a lot more money." And I was like, really? Like, how much more? And you said, minimum probably $5K a month. And at the time, that blew my mind. I was like, 5K? If I made that per month, my worries would be over. And then it turned out I could make a hell of a lot more than that. And I just started learning about what all was possible. And then we teamed up, and you took me from, at the time I was some people in this group have probably heard this story, but I was driving a 99 Cadillac at the time. Trunk was duct taped down, no air conditioning. I lived in South Florida. I was in a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment. I had just enough in my bank account to invest in Brian, just enough. And so that was a huge decision and a huge leap of faith. And he under-promised and over-delivered times a million. He's still delivering to this day, and that was in April 2019, and completely changed my life. I quit my job, took it full-time, pursued my passion, never looked back. A year later, my woman, Sophie, my girlfriend, she left her job, and now we're both doing this full-time. We both left our full-time jobs to do this, and it's just transformed into something that we never thought possible, and it's still just exploding, and all made possible by you. So I always have to come back and say, I'm not a self-made man. I did this with the help of a very influential and transformative individual that helped me completely change my life. And so much has happened between now and then, as well as, I got a son now. It's 8-month-old, beautiful son. We live in a wonderful place. We're so grateful. And all that was made possible by initially you just sending an Instagram message, hey man, you want to make some more money on passion? So
just sliding in, bro. I honestly appreciate that shit so much. That was a fire intro. I don't know if you practiced that, but that was super good.
That's just what happened. That's just what happened.
Yeah, that was really, really good. So awesome. I absolutely love it, and I appreciate that so much. I was talking to Corey about this the other day. I'm like, I really value when people tell me their full story and where they came from, and I just appreciate that you're always willing to give back. That means so much to me. So thank you for that.
Yeah, and just real quick, since I invested that first time in Brian, I have gone out and invested in 2 other coaches. neither of them, and these are people that are touted to be gurus and promised a lot, not even close to what this man does in the academy, and the energy and the time and the service that he gives to people. I can tell you there is not any other program in this industry that comes anywhere close to what he has put together, him and Cole and Corey and everyone and Kirsten, like not even close. And I told Sophie the other day, I was like, I'm never going anywhere else, because I always come back to Brian, and Brian has always helped me be my best self as a business owner every single time without fail, always there for anything I need, over delivering since day one. So I just want to that's not fluff. That's not me kissing ass. That is just facts. Like, I've invested elsewhere and it was nowhere near what you all do in this group. So just want to put that out there to everyone in here as well.
You're fucking cute. Okay. We're moving on now. I'm getting uncomfortably awkward. Okay. Thank you. I fucking appreciate that. Okay. So let's get into your coaching business. Cause when me and you first started working together, dude, like you came into my program and you fucking crushed. Like it was like the first 4 to 6 weeks we made $10,000 together, and you were like fucking flying high. You're like, I'm the king of the world. Like everything's good. But we didn't actually have our system set up properly to be able to retain our clients. The first month was super hot. The second month was not so hot at all. I think you almost went half. It was like first month was super hot, and then the second month was like half the income. And you reached out and you're like, bro, like what the fuck's going on? So what were you doing wrong when it came to like your check-in process or accountability, or in terms of like the coaching aspect? What was missing in your coaching business that caused those people to drop off?
It's a few things. I think retention, when it comes to retention, you have to have something that people are afraid to leave. And that comes with having a community.
That's a nugget. Write that down.
It's much easier to walk away from me than it is to walk away from a community of people who are also invested in your success and love hearing from you day to day and week to week, and encourage you and support you and are a huge part of your journey. It's way harder to walk away from that than it is to just walk away from me. So I didn't have a Facebook group for the first, 4 to 6 months of my program. And it was killing me. It was killing me because it had limited amount of times I could touch clients. It had limited, it was just communicating via text and Marco Polo and whatever else. And that limited, that limited our retention. And once we did that, it took time to build and discover what our movement is about. And so that's another thing, what do you want your movement to be about? What is the message you're trying to promote? For us, we work with women 30 plus, moms. We have niched down further and further and further as we progress. And if there's one thing I can give the new coaches who haven't yet decided who exactly it is, like who is your perfect client that you want to work with, that makes you enjoy what you do and is the most coachable and the least resistance between their results and being coachable, nail that in quicker than I did, because it took me a good probably 8 to 12 months to figure out, all right, I love working with women. I resonate with women. They resonate with me. I can get them results faster than men. It's just what I love to do. So once we niche down and then we can make our community about that female empowerment. We made it about being your best self and everything that comes with being an empowered woman. Then it's even harder to walk away from, because now they're feeling empowered on top of the results they're getting with their nutrition and everything else. So having that community, so important for retention.
So I know for sure there's a lot of online coaches that are listening to this right now that are like, okay, but like Maverick, I'm working with men and women, and I get men and women both reaching out to me. How many online coaches are here that like kind of feel that? So how did you decide how to niche down? Like what made you decide like I'm going, because I'm sure you had dudes and girls and all of it. So how did you decide like I'm going to work with moms?
You have to think long term. Okay. Think about this. You don't want to resonate with everyone, because then you end up getting way less business, because it's a mixed message. You want to resonate with a small group, because then your messaging will be so much more powerful.
Guys, this is nuggets. Like, these are nuggets. He's just moving through them. I'm stopping him because these are nuggets. Sorry, continue.
No, yeah, it's if you're trying to speak to everyone, inevitably you will get fewer people than if you speak to one specific type of person. That's so important. You have to know exactly who you're speaking to. Then content becomes easy, because now I'm not trying to figure out how to resonate with men, women, old, young. Now I'm resonating with one person every single post, and I speak to those issues, to those emotions, and then it makes it much easier to get clients, because you're constantly because people, in order for people to commit to you, they have to see consistency in your message. And when they consistently hear you speaking to them time and time again, you're showing up on every platform and they're seeing you day after day, speaking to them. This person knows me and my struggles, because it takes people time to warm up. They warm up in like a cyclical fashion. 3 months later, that's how you're going to get that client, versus if a week later you're talking to men and it doesn't resonate with them. So
guys, I'm going to say, I'm going to go back, cause like you're fucking just firing off nuggets. And I think that like, I want to highlight the ones that are really important. One of the things that you just said is that your message needs to resonate with them consistently over time. So like, if you're putting out mixed messages, it's going to be hard to attract clients. And it's funny because guys, we're talking about retention here, right? Like we're talking about being a good coach, but being a good coach is like we're building a community, but it's also starts on the front end with who we're bringing into our program. Right? So if you decide you're going to work with women only, as an example, let's say Maverick decides he's going to work with women only, and then a man applies for his program and he accepts that man and puts him in that community, that's going to kill the vibe of the community. And like, these are all super important, like little aspects of being a good coach.
That's a mindset you have to get past, by thinking that if I'm going to lose business if I turn away people who aren't in my avatar. No, you're turning away people who most likely wouldn't have been fantastic clients anyway. And like you said, are going to take away from the overall message you're trying to promote. You have to do that, because again, long term, you're going to be glad you did that, because you're going to love working with every single person you have. You're not going to have any more of those problem clients who are a pain in the ass. For me, for every one good male client I got 4 that were a pain in the ass, complained, questioned me at every turn, and I wasn't enjoying what I was doing. Now I wake up and I work with 65 women who are ready and willing to crush it with me every single day, and that feels fucking great. So it becomes a longevity thing. It becomes an energy thing. Your energy gets drained on people who do not resonate with you.
Yeah, 100%. I love that so much. And you're right, because as a new online coach, most people are thinking like, oh, I'm just like, I need to make that cake. I want to make that paper. And so if somebody reaches out to them, they're just like, I'm just going to sign them, which I think is like, I get it at first. I think I was like that with my coaching business as well. But I really do think it's super important to decide like what kind of community you want to run, what kind of messaging you want to have. And I want to be clear with something as well, you guys, is like when you're niching down, you can niche down to like attack a specific problem, or you can niche down to attack a specific person. Like it's a problem or a person, for me, in my opinion. But yeah, it's really, really important to have a niche. So what does it mean to be a good coach to you, Maverick? Like you have 65 women that are like willing and ready to crush it with you every single day. In your opinion, I did a podcast about this recently. I want to know for you, like, what is a good coach?
There are, I don't know how many people in this chat right now that are probably really good with macros. And everybody in this chat is probably really good with nutrition, right? How do you separate yourself in this industry? What's the disparity? I believe, and from what I've seen, there is a disparity in this very competitive industry of people who are competent outside of macros and exercise, psychology. So what's going to happen? Who's going to speak to your client who's going to talk your client off the ledge? 3 or 4 weeks in, people have a disparity in their motivation. Everyone starts a program motivated. Mm-hmm. How are you going to keep them motivated? How are you going to understand them? How are you going to speak to them week after week after week? And that's going to increase your retention. It's going to help you speak to them more. So what I did, I'm a man. I work with women. How the hell am I going to understand better what women go through, right? I read female empowerment books. I read books on female psychology. I ask my clients what they struggle with. I have client interviews of me asking clients on film, hey, you could have worked with 1,000 other women in this industry. Why did you choose me as a male? And they give their answer. I use that as content. I use that to speak to my clients. I use that when they're struggling to speak to what they're struggling with. And now I have women that tell me, Jesus, you understand me better than my best friend does. You understand me. And it's because I took the time to learn my avatar. I took the time to learn what their struggle is. And so that is what makes a coach, right? Anyone can give someone a meal plan. Anyone can give someone a guidance with their nutrition, a training plan. Those are a dime a dozen. They can pay a hell of a lot less for that in this industry. They need a coach. They need someone who can talk to them and help them through these struggles. When we have these group calls, we talk primarily about mindset, because mindset is what helps these results stick for the rest of their lives, right? That's why fad diets don't work, because there's no mindset. They don't address those second order changes they need to make internally to help maintain those results. So when I started focusing on mindset and I started focusing on all these internal issues, that's what I think separates a good coach. Just fucking being there for them, right? Mm-hmm. Like responding to messages, being there when they need you the most. That means more to them than a meal plan, right? I mean, like I said, everybody in here is probably a meal plan expert, and that's great. That's the foundational thing. But are you a coach? That's what a coach means to me.
Dude, I fucking love that. I love it. The fact that you went out and bought female empowerment books is that is badass as fuck.
It's easy. Spotify, Audible.
Yeah.
You have a library in the palm of your hand to learn your avatar. What are you waiting on?
Yeah, it's guys, if there's nuggets in this podcast, that was another one of them. Because you're right. Like, we're not even like, let's just, let's go to a different industry and use the same example. Meal plans and training plans, right? Like that's what people think that they're paying for, but it's like they're really they want a coach. They want somebody that's going to help them get to their goals, whether or not they want to admit it. Like, people need a coach. And it's the same thing when you hire a business coach, right? Like, most business coaches focus just on the delivery, like study these modules and then do this. And then if you want to reach the coach or contact the coach, it's like you don't actually talk to them. It's like, so you don't actually get the coaching from the coach. That's what most programs are, because they're missing the coaching aspect. And the coaching aspect is 100% like mindset. Like, if training and nutrition was the only thing that you needed in order to achieve your fitness goals, people would just go to fucking Google. But training and nutrition is not the thing. It's like, it is the coaching. And I love the fact that you went a layer deeper and bought books and started listening to audiobooks. That's super cool.
How am I going to compete with female coaches that already know that firsthand experience? So I had to go a layer deeper. I talked to Sophie in depth. What do you struggle with as a mom? I asked the moms in my program, what is your biggest struggles as a mom trying to reach your fitness goals? And I wrote them down and I studied them. After a while, it becomes hardwired in your brain, and you show up as the authority every day on what they struggle with. And they see that every day after day after day. And they're like, I can't leave this fucking guy. I'm like, he understands me. He gets me.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love it so much, bro. So in your program, how much contact do you have with your clients? Like, what's your communication rhythm look like?
This is where, as you scale, it becomes very important how you scale and what you do to implement systems and streamline everything and have your time very, very organized. So how often as they need. How do I do that with getting more and more clients? Well, we'll talk more about that when I go to my group check-ins. But the main thing is, so just right off the bat, we hired someone. We had to, and I think everyone has to eventually. Now, the key with who we hired is very important, because we hired someone who had been in our program for 2 years. So they're in trainer eyes constantly. They know our program in and out. They've heard me talk to them so many times. They're an extension of me. They speak exactly like me. She's a woman. When she talks to the men, the very few men I have in the program, like, hey brother, hey, how's it going, man? Like, she uses the terminology. They're getting me. It's literally, I trained her. I made sure she could speak like me. So anytime they need anything, they reach out on trainer eyes, it gets answered immediately. They text me, I text back. But obviously that becomes unrealistic as you scale. Mm-hmm. But I'm available, within business hours, Monday through Friday. And then check-ins, we do 5 live streams a week in our Facebook group. And I know everyone's different. It's just the way we do it. We do 5 live streams a week in our Facebook group.
5 live streams a week in the Facebook group. Damn.
The only way we can do that is because we have group check-ins. That's the only reason we have time to do that. Once we transition to group check-ins, it freed up so much time to where now we have an hour a day we can do a live stream, or 30 minutes or whatever. And Sophie and I get on there, we have fun, we do a cooking live stream, we do all kinds of shit. Now we're so much more available because of that group check-in transition. Yeah,
I love it. And so for those of you guys that are listening to the podcast, we are doing the group check-ins in like a private training. So that's kind of what Maverick's talking about. So he does do group check-ins. Okay, so what do you do to keep your clients engaged in your program? Like, what are some of your best practices? Like Maverick's top 2 or 3 tips to keep your clients engaged?
You got to get them on something like a weekly challenge. Like, we do weekly challenges every single week in the Facebook group, and we make it incentivized. Like, the winner gets it's an Amazon gift card every single week. What
would you do if you did a weekly challenge and only 1 out of 65 people do it? How would you get people to do it? What would you do?
I would say parent the benefits of participating in a challenge. If 1 person participated, I'd be on Marco Polo. I'd be on every outlet I have saying, hey, don't forget about this challenge. I would say that the more people participate in the challenges, there's a correlation between that and the success. You become who you surround yourself with the most. The more participation you have in this group, the more likely you are to succeed. If you're in a room with 5 geniuses, you're likely going to be the 6th. If you're in a room with 5 morons, we know how that goes. So surround yourself with these people more, participate more, your success, that will correlate straight to success.
So you just make it all about them. Like, this is going to benefit you.
Yes, absolutely. Always emphasize the benefits of what they're getting out of these challenges. And I mean, everybody likes Amazon gift cards, but they also, and one cool thing is we always make it fun and to where that they can engage with each other, right? So for example, a couple weeks ago, we did a challenge called the Something Interesting Challenge. Just tell us something interesting about yourself that not many people know. That was the coolest fucking challenge we've ever done. I learned so much about these people. We have I have a biochemical engineer in the group. One chick knits. There was one lady who was talking about like how she's a carpenter. One woman like does paintings, and they all shared this. And so they're being vulnerable. They're sharing a part of themselves, and everyone's seeing that. And it's like it becomes this really not just a challenge, but people get to know each other. So.
Yeah, that's super cool. I love that. That's super, super, super cool. Okay, so new coaches, right? I'm a new online fitness coach. I'm brand new. I just started. I've got like 3 clients. Well, what advice would you give to new coaches who want to improve the delivery of their program, get their clients killer results so that they stick around for 6 months to a year?
Morning regimen is so important. Morning regimen for yourself. And the reason I say that is because as a part of my morning regimen every day, not only does it set me up for success to dominate the rest of my day, have the right mindset on live streams, because they see your demeanor. They see how you come through on live streams every day. You are a prime example of someone who shows up every single live stream. And that is not easy. You have to be right up here to do that. Mm-hmm. It will show through if you're not ready. So my morning ritual, a part of that, I also read a chapter out of something every single day that's related to my career. So either nutrition, either gut health, hormones, coaching, business, something that's going to benefit me. I read a chapter of it every day. Then if it's nutrition related, I regurgitate that straight to my clients in a live stream.
Boom.
That hardwires it in my brain. Simultaneously, I'm showing up as an authority every day with new shit that they can learn. So regurgitate that, anything you learn straight to your clients. You cement it in your mind. Constantly, systemize early and streamline early. I can't emphasize that enough. Like systemize early, figure out if you find the bottlenecks in your systems and fix them early. Spend a certain amount of time every day improving your systems. And as you do that over time, you'll have that compound interest of your systems getting better and better and better and better. Don't wait until you accumulate so many clients that then you have to do it like I did, do a group check-in transition with 60 plus people and explain it. And that was stressful. That was anxiety. Do it early so you don't have to do that, when it's too late. And then one like thing that I haven't really mentioned much, when you record a live stream, you can use that for so much more than just a live stream. For example, record your live stream, repurpose the audio to a podcast, take several of your live streams, create a video series out of it, create a little intro to each video. Now you have a lead magnet to give away for free to get people interested in your program. So for example, if you do a live stream on nutrition, then you do one on training, then you do one on mindset, guess what? You have a 3 video series you can now offer as a free lead magnet to people down the road to get them interested in your program, because giving away free value is what gets people interested in what you do and they want to know more. So now you can repurpose stuff that you're already doing anyway, give it away for free and bring in more clients. They're like, wow, look at all the stuff he's giving away for free. You were going to do it anyway. So use that content over again.
That's clever. That's super clever. I love that. That's super fucking clever.
I do that. We literally just did that. We just now started running ads a couple months ago. After 2 years organic and doing very well organic, we started dabbling in the ads, and as one of our lead magnets, it's 3 videos that were originally live streams that I did for my group, and we just added a fancy intro to it and everything and made it pretty, and now it's a lead magnet for ads. And now people who don't know about us are now coming to that video series, knowing us, liking us, trusting us, and then we book them on a call. So that's
that's so sick. Yeah. Is that the one that's pumping out applications for you right now?
Yeah, that one and our free ebook one. Another thing I wrote a year and a half ago, and now we're using it as a lead magnet in ads.
Dude, that's crazy. That's super cool.
We closed someone for that 2 days ago. That was from that ebook.
Crazy. That's so cool. That's so exciting.
Yeah.
So I think we can all agree that Maverick is super inspiring, right? I think we can all agree Maverick's super. Dude, I just want to give you credit not only for being like a stellar coach, but just your commitment to like never-ending growth. Like the fact that you read one chapter every single day. Another thing I just wanted to comment on, you guys, is how many times have I preached morning ritual to everybody? Like over and over and over and over again.
Life-changing, dude.
Yeah.
Life-changing.
And you want to know what's super funny is when I asked Maverick, I'm like, what's the number one thing you should do to retain your clients? What did he say? Fucking morning ritual is number one.
It's everything stems from that. Everything.
Yeah, everything.
My entire day is like hinges on that morning regimen. If I wake up and I miss meditation, if I don't get my reading done, if I don't do my deep breathing, if I don't do my walk, if I don't listen to my podcast, if I don't start my day with all of that, the rest of my day is all messed up now, because I'm used to operating on that higher caliber. I'm used to operating at such a high caliber now because of that stuff. If I don't do it, I feel off.
Yeah, 100%. And guys, once you if you apply for the mastermind, you just don't miss a morning ever. That's the level we play at in the mastermind that we do with Chad Morgan. One of the things that we did with Chad is he just never missed a morning in all 6 months. And you guys know Chad's results. So yeah, I love it. Dude, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I appreciate you. Is there any other golden nuggets that you'd care to share before we peace out?
Be patient. Things take time, and don't get discouraged when, things aren't going your way. It takes time to build a business, any business. And this is no different. It takes time. Be consistent with your messaging, be consistent with your content, be consistent with everything this man preaches, and you will succeed. Just enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey.
Boom. All right, guys, that's it. That's all. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Change Lives Make Money Online Training Podcast, the #1 show for online fitness coaches who want to grow a successful online business. If you got value from today's episode, what I want you to do is go to the podcast app, scroll all the way to the bottom. If you go below the first episode, you can leave me a star rating and a written review. If you leave me a written review, I'll give you a shout out on the podcast. Peace, love, and I'll talk to you guys in the next episode. Deuces.